Hi, welcome to Overthinking Entrepreneur. I'm Megan, and I've had a successful online business for a few years now, and I think I overthought probably about 90% of my decisions along the way. Honestly, I just overthought whether I should say 90% or pretty much every decision in this intro. So if you find that relatable, you are definitely in the right place. In this podcast, I will help you get out of overthinking and into action so that your online business can finally start growing. Let's talk about what to do and not do when it's someone's birthday who is your friend on social media. Particularly Facebook. I think birthdays come up on other platforms, especially if that person makes a post and says it's their birthday. But off the top of my head, I don't think any other platform informs you when it's someone's birthday in the same way that Facebook does. So I think this is most prevalent on Facebook, but it happens everywhere. And it's something that I've been meaning to talk about for a long time, something that I think I have a different perspective on than a lot of people. And it's been sort of on my running list of podcast ideas, but just kept getting shoved to the side. But actually, we just had yesterday my community manager's birthday, and I thought, what better time as an excuse? Happy birthday, Trey. And let's talk about birthdays because she always makes me laugh. She is really not a fan of a few of these things that I'm going to be talking about today. So it just felt like really good timing to finally bring out this topic and help you realize if you're being weird when it comes to people's birthdays. So there are some do's and don'ts. And of course, like anything, there's very few things that are one size fits all. And when I explain what I think you should not do, I'm going to tell you why. I'm not just going to tell you not to do something so that you can decide for yourself if you agree with me or not. But I will say that I have been on social media. Well, I've been on social media for a long time, but in a business sense for many years now, and I've seen a lot of stuff when it comes to birthdays. And for some reason, people get so weird. They get so weird. So we need to just talk about some specific do's and don't do's when it's your Facebook friend's birthday, okay? Because you don't want to be that person. And I think a lot of times too, some people realize that they're being gross or weird, but some people don't. And so hopefully, if that's possibly you, maybe you can hear this and say, oh, I'm being gross and or weird and I'm going to stop. Or like I said, you can disagree with me. But anyway, let's dive in and talk about what to do and not do when it's someone's birthday. Okay, so first thing, I don't think that you should try and use other people's birthdays in your business whatsoever. Unless you want to do like a birthday club, which we'll talk about later on in the episode, but anything like short of that, I don't think other people's birthdays should have anything to do with your business, okay? So what I mean by that is a lot of people say, oh, I use the birthdays, depending on whose birthday it is. That's what I use to clean out my friends list and unfriend people. Now, I started this one because personally, I think this one's not a big deal and it would not bother me any more that you unfriended me on my birthday than any other day. I wouldn't even notice that you unfriended me on my birthday, I don't think, unless, I don't pay attention to exactly how many friends I have to notice that someone has unfriended me, like it seems some people do. Because I've seen people basically vent and why would you unfriend me on my birthday? That's so rude. And I'm like, why did you notice that on your birthday? That seems weird to me. But anyway, if I go to someone's profile and notice we're no longer friends, I'll notice in that way. But I'm not obsessing over my numbers. So for me personally, if you're going to unfriend me, do it whatever day you want to. I mean, I guess it's a little bit kind of not the best feeling to do it on my birthday, but I doubt you care about my birthday if you're unfriending me. So, it's not like you're doing it out of spite. If you're doing it out of spite, that's really weird. But to me, this one is fairly low stakes. But if someone were to happen to notice, I mean, it could hurt their feelings. I've seen people be frustrated and upset that they got unfriended on their birthday before. But I also think, why is this your system? That just seems like a really strange system to me. There's so many better ways to clean out your friends list. This is going to be such slow going, and I just think it's weird to be like, oh, I better check whose birthday it is to see if they need unfriended. What is that? So I would not use it as a way to remember to unfriend. On the flip side of that, I would also not use it as a get to know you day or as a way to try and forge a connection with someone, a new connection. Now, I don't mind if you tell me happy birthday, and I don't think anyone does, as long as it's genuine. But what a lot of people do is they view it as kind of a foot in the door. And a lot of us have probably gotten these messages where someone will say happy birthday, and maybe you write back and say thank you, and then they say, what did you do to celebrate? Or what are you doing for fun today? Now we have entered small talk territory. Now, if you're my actual friend, I'm not talking about you. But if you are an acquaintance or a relative stranger on social media and now you're trying to ask me about my plans and like get to know me and bond with me today on my birthday, this is now small talk. And do you want to know what one of my least favorite things in the entire world is? Small talk. Do you think I want to spend my birthday small talking with someone who's hoping that they can then sell me something on my birthday? No, that's not what I want to do on my birthday. So that's reason number one. If the person you're talking to is introverted, I mean, I think a lot of people don't really love those get to know you conversations with strangers or small talk in general, but most of us introverts pretty notoriously cannot stand small talk. So if you are not 100% certain this person is like extrovert of all extroverts, there's a really good chance that you were trying to make someone do one of their very least favorite things on their own birthday. And you're doing it not out of the goodness of your heart, not for them because you want them to have a good birthday, because you want to build a relationship with this person in hopes that they will buy from you someday. Do you see how that just seems weird? It's just not a good look. The other thing in a practical sense, even if we don't want to talk about, the morals, the ethics, all of that behind it, practically, strategically speaking, that's about the worst day of the entire year to try and connect with someone and stand out and get noticed by them. What day of the entire year do you get more messages than any other day? Your birthday. What day do you get any more notifications than any other day? Your birthday. Like, that is not a good day to try and grab someone's attention. First of all, they're probably swamped. I don't have time on my birthday. I'm trying to be out living my life. It's my birthday, hopefully. I mean, I don't make a huge deal out of birthdays personally, but I do still try and, do something for my birthday. And so, my phone's going off all day long. And I love the birthday messages. I'm not trying to make it sound like I don't want you to tell me happy birthday. But my phone's going off all day long. Do you think that I'm going to really notice your message to me amongst the hundreds of messages that I received that day? Maybe, maybe not. It's not a good day to stand out and really grab someone's attention and form that strong connection with them if there's someone that you don't know. And again, all of this goes back to when there's someone that you don't know. If you are good friends with someone, tell them happy birthday. Have a conversation with them. I'm not trying to say that you can't talk to your friends on their birthday. I hope that's not how this is coming across. But to choose that day as a day to try and get to know someone that you've never talked to the whole rest of the year, it is annoying at best and kind of gross at worst. So that's what I think I really just want you to remember, is that it's weird. And most people aren't going to probably respond very well to it. And second of all, this is probably the most crowded day of the year, unless, I don't know, I guess when I announced I was pregnant, that got more reactions than a birthday post. So like there's a handful of things that they could post on social media that might get a little more attention than their birthday, but not many. So picking a day when hundreds of people are messaging them is not the way to stand out and have them want to respond to you. Picking a different day, even the next week, if you're trying to talk to me, and maybe you could say, oh, I know you just had a birthday. Did you do anything fun to celebrate? I would a million times over rather have that conversation than be trying to have it on my birthday itself. Now, I still don't want you to send me messages with awkward small talk, get to know you kind of questions, but I'm much more receptive to it on a day that's not my actual birthday. And I'll probably have more to say because my birthday's over and I can tell you what I did, as opposed to sometimes I don't know yet what I'm doing for my birthday. And people are always like, what are you doing to celebrate? And I'm like, I don't know. And then it just feels awkward. And it's just, or right now I have a toddler and then I'll have to be like, oh, probably not, mom duty for, nothing else I can really do. And then I'm like, oh, and now the conversation's awkward. And like, you made it awkward because you asked me that question when you didn't even know me, So anyway, that's the reason why I don't think it's a good day to try and get to know someone or ask them those follow-up questions. And then the other thing that I really feel strongly that you should not be doing on someone's birthday is offer them a random discount because it's their birthday, unless they are already a very loyal customer of yours. If this is a person who has never ordered from you, do not message them and say, hey, I saw on Facebook that it's your birthday and I'd like to offer you a gift. The gift is that you can pay me. That's not a gift, you guys. That's not a gift, okay? To a stranger who has never expressed interest in your products whatsoever, to tell them that you have this gift for them, but actually it's just a small discount on something they've never even said they wanted to buy to begin with. That is not a gift for them. That's you trying to use their birthday for your own benefit. And that is gross, and that's going to leave a really bad taste in their mouth. I will still never forget, this was years ago now, but when I got married, I had someone reach out to me, and she reached out to me in Messenger, and it took me a while to realize what she was doing, but she reached out to me in Messenger. And she was so nice. And she was just, I'm so happy for you. I saw that you're engaged. You do so much for us. I've been in your group for a while. I love all your trainings. Like, I'm so happy for you. All of this couldn't be happening to a better person. Like, blah, blah, like, so nice. And I was like, wow, this is so nice. And we had a little chat. And then she goes, hey, I just remembered that my company actually will allow you to set up a party for your shower. What a weird coincidence. I just remember, it was like so obvious. That was the entire reason she messaged me to begin with. And it left such a bad taste in my mouth. And I like that company and I like their products. And if it had happened a different way, I might have even been open to the idea. But that guaranteed that there was no way that I was ever shopping with her. That left such a bad taste in my mouth. She buttered me up so much. And it was all just to try and use my own happy news to grow her own business. That is not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to form real connections with people. We are trying to genuinely care. We're not trying to figure out like how can I use someone else's happy occasion for my own gain. That is what starts to feel really weird to people and starts to feel really gross. So reaching out to someone who has never ordered from you. Now, I could see every now and then there could be a situation where like maybe you have someone that like there's people that I know would love to purchase more of my programs, but for, money reasons or whatever, just have not been able to. So there are sometimes people that like you are 100% positive they're very interested, they would sign up if they could and they just haven't been able to. If that's the case and it's been like ongoing for a while, this person pretty well, then I could see possibly throwing out a birthday discount, but even that would have to be done very cautiously. But if this is someone that you have never spoken to about your business, do not, I repeat, do not send them a message offering them a discount if they buy something from you today, all in the name of their birthday. That is not coming across the way that you think that it is. And you might have good intentions and you might say, well, I just really want to give people some fun stuff and I thought their birthday could be a good day. That's great, but not people who have never expressed any sort of interest. That would be like, let's say that, I'm trying to think, let's say that you hate Chinese food for some reason. How you would hate Chinese food, I don't know, but let's just pretend that you do. And it's your birthday and nonstop, you're getting phone calls all day long from the local Chinese restaurant saying, hey, we found out it's your birthday. We want to offer you half off. And you're like, I don't like Chinese food. How did you get my number? I didn't opt in for this. Like, why are you calling me? What's happening? That's essentially what you're doing when you reach out to someone unsolicited to try and offer them a discount when they haven't even expressed interest. So, okay, those are my big don'ts when it comes to birthdays on social media. So don't use it to remember to unfriend or to remember anything, really. If there's anything you're doing in like a systematic way, don't use someone's birthday as a way to remember it. It's just weird. Don't use it as I'm going to try and get to know you day. And do not offer them an unsolicited discount, even if your intentions are good. Now, let's talk about what you should do when it's someone's birthday. Tell them happy birthday and be normal. That's it. End podcast. Okay? But be normal, you guys. Like, I don't understand why we've gotten so weird about this. Pretend that you don't even see the birthdays. If you can't help yourself from being weird, then just pretend like they don't even exist. But here's what I personally do when it comes to birthdays on social media. I check them most days. I don't always remember to check, but most days I'll check the birthdays and see whose birthday it is. I do not say happy birthday to every single person on my friends list just because they're on my friends list. I will go through and I'll say, do I actually know this person? Even a little bit. And if I have any sort of connection or relationship with the person, then I will typically send them a message that just says happy birthday. And that's about it. That's usually what I do, like a normal human being, right? Is someone's birthday, I tell them happy birthday, and I move on. Now, there is a little bit of strategy behind why I do this that I will tell you, and it is sincere. Like, I like birthdays. I think people deserve to hear happy birthday. And like I said, I'm selective. Like, if you have received a happy birthday message from me, it means that I think we have some sort of connection or small relationship, or I care about you in some way. So you can hear it right from my mouth here that I do not send happy birthdays to every single person on my friends list. So, I just feel weird. If we've never talked or, I don't know. It just seems odd to get like a happy birthday from someone that you don't even know whatsoever. But when it's those people that I know at least a little bit or know very well, then I will send them a happy birthday message. I prefer a message over posting on their profile. Now, I will say if I see a post that someone made where they're like, it's my birthday, here's what I'm doing today, sometimes I will just comment on that and say happy birthday. But I don't ever like write on someone's, is wall still even the term? I don't even think you can say someone's Facebook wall. Do you just say their timeline now? I don't even know. Either way, I don't like post on someone's, I'm going to say wall because I'm an elder millennial and that's what we were originally taught it was called. I don't post on someone's wall and say happy birthday because those tend to get lost. I think generally speaking, I feel like you're less likely to get a response from the person. They're less likely to even notice, right? They'll get a notification that says like Susie, Jenny, and 47 other people posted on your wall for your birthday, and they may or may not even go read them all depending on how busy they are today. So I feel like sometimes those just really get lost in the shuffle. But also just from an algorithm perspective, making a random post on someone's wall is not as effective as speaking to someone in Messenger. And I also feel like Messenger is more personal, and I want them to know that I took a minute to wish them happy birthday. I'm not being a weirdo about it, but it just feels more personal to me. Whereas if I just, post it on their wall, it's like they're amongst everyone else's. I know they're getting a bunch of other messages too. I'm not trying to pretend that I'm the only person sending them a message, but it just feels more personal. And I've noticed on my own birthday, I a lot of times like the messages more than just a post that says happy birthday on my wall. So I kind of proceed accordingly. So I'll send a message because, like I said, when it comes to the algorithm, talking to someone in Messenger is a really great way to show up in each other's news feeds. So this kind of makes sure that I'm talking to someone in Messenger. If there's someone who's like, that I'm interested in building a relationship with, this helps make sure that I'm talking to them in Messenger at least once a year. And it also just feels more personal to me and a little bit less spammy. So that's what I do. And when I do it, I just say happy birthday. Sometimes I'll send a funny GIF, and I know it's pronounced GIF, but I refuse. I don't think I've said that yet on this podcast. Somehow we've made it this many episodes without me ranting about the pronunciation of GIF. So just so you know, I'm a denier. I know it's GIF, but it doesn't make sense and I refuse. I say GIF. So anyway, I might send a funny GIF if you're someone that I know that we have like a good sense of humor in common and I feel like we're at that level of friendship. But other than that, I just say happy birthday and that's really it. Next thing that you can do is offer a discount to your regular customers, but only your regular customers. If someone ordered from you once 4 years ago, they don't get a birthday discount, okay? This is something that needs to be reserved for people who've earned it by making some sort of purchase from you, or they've at least opted into your birthday club. And before we go any further with this, I do not have a birthday club and you do not need to have a birthday club either. But if you want one, if you want to have a way that you incorporate birthdays and discounts into your business, this is a much better way to do it. But I don't do this in my business. I have no plans to continue doing this or to start doing this in my business. You do not need to give any sort of birthday discount or birthday anything at all other than a nice, kind, happy birthday. And even that is optional, especially if you just didn't happen to see that it's their birthday. But if you have the desire to do some sort of birthday discount program for your customers, then I think what you want to do is set up an official birthday program. So you don't want to put the pressure on your shoulders to try and remember the birthdays of all your customers and like have all these little notes everywhere and all these little reminders and you're trying to remember. And then it's like, what if I forgot this person, but I didn't forget, it's like, if you're going to create this, you need to really think through how this is going to look in the long term. And like maybe you have 2 customers right now, but what if you have 200 customers? How are you going to keep track of all of this? You really need to think about like because it's one thing to have a great idea and say that would be so fun, I would love to do that, but it's another to know whether it's a good, feasible idea or not. There's a ton of ideas that I would love to do, but I just know I'm not going to be able to follow them through and execute them the way that I wanted. Like I actually did have a brief thought now that I moved everything over to my shop, and so it's all in Shopify in one nice place where you buy everything from me. I had the thought of, wouldn't it be fun if I did some sort of like birthday discount? But then I started thinking through like, okay, how would I even set that up? Like, would I create one code, but people only get the code when it's their birthday? But then how would I set up them getting the code? And I don't know. And then it's like, I could create it. Like I could do it with my email list. I think I could set up a form, have you tell me your birthday, and then set up an like I think that I could make it happen. But do I want that headache, and is it worth it? And do I think on someone's birthday they're going to be like itching to run out and use a birthday coupon in my shop? No, right? They want ice cream. They want to get their nails done. They want to do fun stuff on their birthday. So I just don't think that I concluded that it wouldn't be worth the hassle, the benefit that it would bring into my business. And this is something you really need to think about. You need to think like a CEO. You need to think like a true entrepreneur if you want your business to grow. So there are things that I would love to do from the kindness of my heart because they would just be fun and exciting, and I love to give back. But I have to operate like a business and make good business decisions. And this was not going to be a good business decision. This was going to be something that seemed really fun, but was going to be an absolute nightmare when I actually tried to set it up. So anyway, I'm just sharing that with you so that you know that I don't have one and you don't need to have one. But if you want to do something for birthdays, this is what I would do. I would set up an official birthday program. I would make it something that everyone knows about. I would decide up front what you have to do to be eligible. Like, maybe you've had to have placed an order in the last 90 days or 6 months or something. You want to be kind of strict here, okay? You don't want to be forking over birthday gifts and discounts to someone who ordered once 6 years ago, like I said, right? Could it help them come back and place another order? Yeah, it could. And that's where you want to really be mindful. I think that especially if your requirements are going to be kind of lax, what you want to do is offer them like a discount or money towards a purchase, but not just free stuff. Because there are plenty of people who have no interest in ever buying from your business ever again. But if you said, hey, if you give me your address, I'll send you a birthday gift, they would happily do that. And now you're out the time getting that set up, getting it mailed out, you're out the money for the envelope and whatever you send them, all that stuff. It's just, I don't think that's the smartest way to go for most people. And there's always exceptions. I don't know what your business does. Everyone's business is a little bit different. So there's always exceptions. But as a general rule, you want to make sure that you're making good business decisions and you're not offering things that cause you to lose money. And birthday discounts could easily become something that accidentally causes you to lose money. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I would recommend you do something like, $10 off a $50 order or, something like that, to where in order for them to get the discount, they've placed an order with you. You've made it worth it. I also would not make it so that they have to use it on their birthday itself, because who wants to, be spending doing that on their actual birthday? And then I think you want to just really think through, like I said, what you're offering. Make sure that it's not going to put you into the hole. And you need to have a way to make sure that you're managing the logistics long term. And I would not suggest it being something that you do manually. I think you definitely want to figure out how to get it automated. So if you have an email list, if you have a text list, if you use a chatbot, something like ManyChat, which actually I've considered using for my business, and that probably would be a smart way to go about some kind of birthday program, but figuring out how you can automate it so that it's not something that you're putting a lot of time into, because people may or may not take you up on whatever the birthday deal is. And you can't bank on that. And you can't say, well, I'm going to put a ton of time. It's going to be so worth it because I know once they get this, they're going to want to turn around and order. They might not. And that's not fair of you to put that expectation on them, especially if all you did was say, hey, it's your birthday. Can I send you something? And they said, sure. You cannot put the expectation on them and decide where this is going to go. You need to make sure that everything that you do is worth it on your end, whether they respond or not, whether they use the code or not, whatever it is, right? Make sure it's worth it on your end. So, okay, I think that's it when it comes to birthdays. So remember, tell them happy birthday and be normal. That's all you got to do, okay? Stop trying to use other people's birthdays as a way to grow your own business. Stop trying to use it as a way to make awkward small talk and force these connections on someone's birthday. Stop offering these discounts, doing all these weird things that people just, if the only day of the year that you talk to someone is on their birthday, that's not a good sign. And that's I guess that's a good way to put that more specifically when I was explaining who I will and won't message. If I'm looking through, and if this would be literally our only communication in the past year, I'm not going to tell you happy birthday. And when I say communication, I do not mean that we have to talk in Messenger. If you've watched one of my videos and commented, if I've watched one of your videos and commented, if we've spoke back and forth in the comments of each other's posts, if there's been, you watched my stories and reacted, right? If there's been some sort of interaction, then I will probably take the time to say happy birthday if I get to it. I don't check birthdays every single day. There's definitely days I miss. So if you're hearing this, by the way, and you're thinking that you didn't make the cut of who I want to send birthdays to, it's very, very possible that I did not check birthdays on your birthday. So please don't think that you didn't make the cut just because you didn't get a message from me. on weekend days. Like, I only see birthdays on my computer, and I'm not always on my computer. Sometimes I'm on my phone. So anyway, but if that would be our only interaction for pretty much the whole year, I'm not going to tell you happy birthday. That just seems weird. And like, why? What are you hoping to accomplish there? So, okay, now I'm really curious if you agree with me or not on all of this. So I will probably put up a little discussion post in my group, although those are not going the best. So whether I keep doing those, I don't know. But I would also love for you to send me a message if you want to and tell me, do you agree? How do you feel about birthday stuff? And you might be someone listening to this and saying, well, I actually love when strangers message me on my birthday and have a conversation. Awesome. We're all different, but the majority of people, I don't think, agree with you when it comes to that. So, okay, your action step for today, go check out birthdays on your Facebook. And if there's anyone who meets your own requirements, and you get to decide what your own requirements are for who you want to say happy birthday to. But if there's anyone whose birthday it is today that meets your requirements, then tell them happy birthday and be normal. I hope this episode inspires you to go take action on something you have been overthinking. As much as I wish you could, you cannot think your way to success, so promise me you're going to go take some action today. Head over to overthinkingentrepreneur.com to find all the cool stuff I've made for you over the years, like my free guide to getting more social media engagement and my Facebook group, Dynamite Entrepreneurs, which has a free course on social media basics.